Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy. People need to realize the Indiana Fever, this is the second year in a row they had the number 1 pick. So do y'all know what that means? That means they're not that good. They had back-to-back years as the number 1 pick.
Why are you a hater on the Fever, man?
No, I am a realist. Like, because not only like I get like people are just like crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, like it's still a team game, people. It is still a team game.
Hell no. Hey, no, hell no. No, I can't go for that, T. When has cash cows ever cared about other cash cows? Them women feel they reputations and names is at stake too. I get the premise of what he's trying to say. That's more of a league thing. That can't be. You can't expect the players to go out and compete halfway for the betterment of everybody. I think the argument is twofold. Shit, like you might get new viewership with Caitlin Clark, but you also see people being competitive with Caitlin Clark. I think that's part of it. Like imagine Michael Jordan coming into the league trying to be transcendent and the Detroit Pistons then beat up on him. That's part of the story.
Somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence, you can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer.
And she's displaying some skill, and she's moving fast. It looked like everybody on that court is way slower than her when she get into her stuff. I remember watching her when she was a summer going into her senior year. I was in Chicago for her. But she was always leading that. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country.
Because she ain't had enough reps.
Well, it don't matter. I don't care what the reps is. And I don't care how political this is. Yeah, it's politics. Yep, it sure is.
It's a new wave that is here. And it's got a major blockage on it, man. Listen, to everybody out here, bro, we're not fighting over the pie that's been established. The ideal is to grow the pie.
Go ahead and look. Everywhere you turn, Indiana Fever is breaking records. All Cheryl Swoops did was validate all the speculation that there's folks hating on Caitlin Clark. That's all she did. Because to know basketball like Cheryl Swoops does, to be as accomplished as she is, to be the Hall of Famer that she is, all accolades that are well-deserved. And I'm certainly not attacking Cheryl Swoops the person because I think she's a wonderful person. How do you talk about the Indiana Fever and mention a multitude of players and now one of them is Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, as a rookie is leading the league in assists? How do you do that? I told y'all that. I've argued with the great Andrea Carter, outstanding analyst for ESPN, right here on this podcast. I've argued with Janae Ogumake, who's an outstanding basketball analyst, and Monica McNutt, one of the preeminent voices of the New York Knicks, and what she's doing with her career. They know they got my support, all love. But I'm waiting for you to say I was right. Caitlin Clark can ball. She should have been on Team USA.
Since the Indiana Fevers got knocked out of the playoffs, Caitlin Clark's discourse has reached an all-time high, with ridiculous takes and race-baiting opinions gaining a lot of attention. Surprisingly, in all of these, a former NBA star has spoken up, and he appears to have the most level-headed analysis of all these dramas. The Caitlin drama. These past few weeks, Caitlin's attackers and defenders have been at it, from social media platforms to traditional media. The attention Caitlin brought to the WNBA has suddenly been criticized by fans and WNBA stars alike, with many complaining of new fans attacking them for their poor performance, or Caitlin Clark's failure to address the ongoing racism the league is experiencing from new WNBA fans. Stars like Alyssa Thomas and Brittany Griner have all come out to specifically call out Fever's fan base for their racial comments. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments, like from the Indiana Fever fan base. It's unacceptable, honestly, and there's no place for it, said Alyssa Thomas. The ongoing drama has grown so bad that Chicago Sky forward Izzy Harrison was abused online by her own fans after retweeting about Caitlin Clark winning the Rookie of the Year's award. For what it's worth, there has been selective outrage on both sides. with traditional media doing little to help the problem, as they allow trolls on the internet to form their stories. Caitlin Clark was attacked on all fronts throughout the season, while new WNBA fans have also gone out of their way to defend her and attack other team players. Two truths can coexist, and that is what former Los Angeles Lakers guard Lou Williams believes. And while the former Los Angeles Clippers guard believes both truths can coexist, he has come out to say they don't have to be the primary focus of the WNBA. During an episode of FanDuel TV's Run It Back, the three-time Sixth Man of the Year gave his honest take on all of these Caitlin Clark dramas. Lou Williams on Caitlin. With several takes going on about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, Lou Williams took his time to address the drama on FanDuel TV's Run It Back. According to the three-time Sixth Man of the Year, he applauded the new fans of the league, thanking them for their unending support since Caitlin joined the league. He encouraged the new WNBA fans to get educated about the league, about its history and importance. What I would encourage you and a lot of people that's now interested and involved, and they're invested in it, take an opportunity to do your homework, do your research, do a history lesson on what's going on, Williams said. Lou Williams stressed that since Caitlin got drafted into the league, a lot of opinions have been made, many of which are untrue or biased, and according to the former NBA guard, these opinions are made by fans who could have cared less about women's basketball and sports in general in the past few years. By now, it's no secret that Caitlin Clark's addition to the WNBA has brought in new fans, many of whom were fascinated by the range of shots. After all, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, she is the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
This girl is the best in the world on a collegiate women's level. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody better than her. She is a sensational talent. No question about it. She is the Steph Curry of women's basketball. That is what I call her. How many games is this now? That's her 38th career 30-point plus game as a college basketball player. And, you know, she's done 40 plus several times. She's sensational. She's a marksman extraordinaire. And she's a wonderful, wonderful person, incredibly articulate as well. And I think that what you'll see is the WNBA. You'll see people clamoring for her. Just watch the game because we love the women's game. I enjoyed it when I was at the WNBA finals, that championship game between the Aces and the Liberty. I got to tell you something. Caitlin Clark ultimately in the WNBA is going to be something special to behold because she's special now and she's only getting better.
Sadly, these new eyes, according to Lou Williams, are doing more harm than good to the WNBA because many of these fans are ignorant of how the WNBA works and its history. Because of the eyes that Caitlin Clark has brought to the table, everybody has these opinions, and it's like you literally probably don't know what you're talking about, Lou Williams said. Later on the show, the former NBA guard directly addressed NBA analysts who are no longer talking about historical moments in the sport, as he believes there are so many other WNBA topics that they could be talking about instead of revolving all their conversations on only Caitlin Clark. Lou noted that it's absurd that the conversations have shifted from what is happening on the court to things that are happening off court, and shockingly, to him, it's all still all about Caitlin Clark. This wouldn't be the first time, though, that the former NBA star would publicly address Caitlin Clark's conversations, despite trying his best to stay out of it. During the height of the conversation about the WNBA having its first Co-Rookie of the Year award, Lou Williams was against the idea of seeing Reese and Clark as co-winners. At the time, he noted that having a Co-Rookie of the Year is a cookie cutter, because the award should represent the best of the best, and regardless of how controversial the winner would be, the WNBA should stand on business. Well, fast forward to the end of the regular season, and Lou Williams' recent problem with the whole Caitlin drama is how conversations have since shifted from the WNBA to just the Indiana Fever's guard. ESPN sports analysts like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Monica McNutt, and Molly Karam, to name a few, have all made Caitlin Clark a talking point throughout the season, and even after the Fevers got eliminated from the playoffs. From her getting bullied and targeted to her historical performances and her proving doubters wrong, she is the biggest talking point in the WNBA, and rightfully so. She is box office in a league that has Aja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Kesley Plum, Nafisa Collier, and Arike Ogunbowale. So, why not Caitlin Clark? Why not Caitlin? In Lou Williams' defense, given the history of the league, conversations about the WNBA shouldn't center around just Caitlin Clark. However, it is important to know that conversations in any sport have always been about its biggest stars. Many have been and are still talking about LeBron James, even when he is not playing. ESPN analyst and NFL legend Shannon Sharpe better explained why the conversation about Caitlin does not affect the legacy of the WNBA and legends of the game that came before her, when he said, "They tried to minimize her saying, well, you giving her all this credit, what about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. You can't minimize Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or any of the other great players. Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done." Shannon noted that a huge reason why the discussion about the WNBA revolves around Caitlin is because regardless of her talents and the attention she brought to the WNBA, a lot of people tried to keep her in her place and minimize what she has done, and her fan base and people like him were not letting that slide because they know how generational of a talent she is. The NFL legend pointed out that no one can take away from the historical achievements of other women in the league. For example, Aja Wilson ended the 2024 regular season as the second unanimous league MVP after being the first WNBA player to score 1,000 points in a season, and the first player to lead the WNBA in total points, rebounds, and blocks in a season. Aja deserves all the praise she can get. However, that doesn't mean others should pump the brakes on praising Clark, because what she did in her first professional season is also out of this world. Fellow ESPN sports analyst Stephen A. Smith also echoed Shannon's sentiment when he observed that the reason why the major talking point in the WNBA right now is Caitlin Clark is because former WNBA players, vocal critics, and commentators act like there isn't or hasn't been legitimate resentment towards Caitlin Clark. Stephen A. Smith argued that these off-court conversations about Caitlin will continue to occur because the backlash Caitlin Clark is facing is rooted in envy and resentment from people who should be embracing this rookie for what she has accomplished, but are tearing her down for doing what they were unable to do during their own time. Besides, these new fans, despite their lack of knowledge of the WNBA's history, can clearly see that Caitlin is being attacked by others who are attempting to diminish her shine or gain cheap points with her name, and such would defend her from every critic. Interestingly, in all of these dramas, Lou Williams is not the only NBA star to chip in. A four-time NBA Finals MVP has also voiced his thoughts. Other NBA stars weigh in. Four-time league MVP LeBron James recently joined Lou Williams as a fellow NBA star to address the Caitlin Clark drama going on. The 2003 first overall pick surprisingly had a different view of the matter than Lou Williams because, according to LeBron, from experience, he understands why the conversations are all about Caitlin Clark. "I have a great deal of respect for Caitlin Clark because I know exactly what it means to be drafted, be the face of a franchise, and also get the scrutiny from a lot of people that don't believe you're ready for the next jump, don't believe you're ready for the big leagues, and just don't think that you belong," LeBron James said. He explained that she is in all these conversations instead of other WNBA greats because she is a transcendent player and an unbelievable talent. In his words, he has experienced all she had and is still going through, and will continue to have his 100% support. In any case, basketball fans online have had a lot to say about Lou Williams' comments. A user commenting, "All numbers, statistics, metrics, and data point to yes, Caitlin is box office." Another commented, "Is she the only reason? No. Is she the main reason? Yes. The fact is, people gravitated to Caitlyn because of her style of play. It's the same style of play that was popularized by Steph Curry and turned the NBA into a three-point shooting league. It's also the same style of play that kids in AAU fell in love with." Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time.